Welcome. In this section, we're going to cover two powerful workflow tools in Raiana, the checklist generator and the gap analysis generator. These features are designed to help you quickly digest heavy standards and track regulatory updates without doing all the manual heavy lifting. Let's start with the checklist generator. This tool takes a standard or requirement document and automatically converts it into a structured checklist for your internal requirements management or internal audits. To use it, open the checklist generator and upload your source document directly from your hard drive. Before hitting generate, you'll want to select your checklist verbosity, which determines the level of detail. Choose brief if you just need a high-level overview. Choose medium for a deeper breakdown, organized closely by chapter. Or select elaborate if you need a specific requirement entry for every single clause in the standard. Once you set your verbosity and start the generation, Raiana processes the document and produces a downloadable Excel file. Because it's thoroughly analyzing the text, this can take a few minutes for larger files. Once complete, open the Excel sheet to review the extracted requirements against your source standard before putting it to work. Once you set your verbosity and start the generation, Raiana processes the document and produces a downloadable Excel file. Because it's thoroughly analyzing the text, this can take a few minutes for larger files. Once complete, open the Excel sheet to review the extracted requirements against your source standard before putting it to work. Next, let's look at the gap analysis generator. This feature is ideal when a standard gets updated and you need to see exactly what changed between the older and newer editions and how that impacts your existing technical documentation. To run a gap analysis, upload both files, first the older edition and then the updated version. For example, you might upload an earlier version of ISO 10993-1 alongside its latest revision. Just make sure you're comparing two editions of the same standard for an accurate result. Next, choose your comparison output. You can select a changes-only analysis, which outputs an Excel file focused strictly on deltas for a fast review, or choose a full document comparison for a complete redline-style format. Also, choose between Excel and Word, because this is an agentic, deep processing task. Comparing two full standards will take several minutes. Give it some time to finish, and once complete, open up your result. When reviewing the gap analysis table, you'll see the old text, the new text, and the specific delta side by side. To make reading it effortless, Raiana uses simple color coding. Green highlights additions. Red highlights removals. Blue flags renumbered sections. Using these visual cues, you can quickly evaluate the updates, decide what actions are required for your technical documentation, and feed those findings directly into your compliance records. And that is how you leverage Raiana to generate standard checklists and execute gap analyses. Thanks for listening. I hope this helped. On to the next.